Hello, today is a wonderful day for me. It's an interview with an incredible person that I met. He's very talented. English is his native language. He speaks a little bit of Portuguese as well, but I'm not going to ask him to speak Portuguese today. I'm here with Jake from Idiomas com Jake. How are you today, my friend?
I'm doing well, Mr. Rod. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for accepting doing this interview with me. So, why did you decide to be an English teacher?
Oh man, that's a good question. It's still weird for me to label myself as an English teacher because
Yeah.
I'm actually a Spanish teacher in the United States.
Yeah.
I guess it started off with me just making TikToks. I figured all my students are already on TikTok anyway, so I'll make Spanish TikToks teaching Spanish.
Yeah.
And I made one teaching English, and it kind of blew up a little bit. So I was like, hey, there's a little bit of demand here. We'll see how this goes. And the rest was history, man. It's been awesome. Built an awesome community, and very appreciative of all the people who have followed so far.
When did you have the idea to start something with English or Spanish on social medias?
Yeah, so it was right at the end of last school year. So it would have been last May that I started, just because I had more time on my hands, and I wanted to create something that was better for my students, because I think the old, I guess, format of teaching just didn't work, and it was also COVID times, so I knew there was a lot of people online, so I wanted to see how I could reach them the best, with them being virtual and just making those short form videos. That's very quick.
How does it feel for you to see your videos blowing up on TikTok?
It was cool, man. It's awesome. I mean, at first it was like mind blowing a little bit. Like I just didn't really expect it. But as I said, now we've built such an awesome community, and so I just feel very fortunate. I can do something that I like doing, and that helps a lot of people. And I've made a lot of friends along the way. Obviously met awesome people like you from all around the world, which is
Thank you so much.
It's awesome for me to connect so many different people. So it felt pretty special, certainly.
You have something that very few people have. You have teacher delivery. We can see that you look at the camera and say what you have to say in a concise way and in a very good way. It's really amazing.
Well, thank you, man. As I said, it's amazing to be able to connect all those people.
There's an underlying reason why you teach Spanish. There's something very special. Why is it?
I teach Spanish because I studied Spanish, and I met my wife in Costa Rica.
That's the reason.
Yes, her and her family have helped me quite a bit with my Spanish. So,
and what is the most amazing thing to learn a second language for you who speak English as a native language and everybody understands you anywhere in the world? How is it for you to learn a second language?
For me, it was awesome just to be able to connect with people in an authentic way, connect with the different culture, with different countries in an authentic way. Because yes, I can communicate with a lot of people in English, but there's certain sectors of countries that you can't communicate with if you only speak English, right? So I was able to access this different groups of people and connect with them and really kind of get immersed in that culture. So for me, that was the coolest part about learning a second language.
What drives you to teach even more and more and more?
What drives me to teach? Probably the fact that I feel useful when I teach. It feels like I'm helping people. And at least comments and feedback have suggested that. So I think that's what drives me to continue teaching.
So how did it feel in the beginning to be on social media?
That's a great question. That's something that I'm still adjusting to as well, because I didn't use social media that much at all. Actually, before, when I would take trips, when I would do things with my friends in college, I was never the one taking pictures and putting them on Instagram or putting things online. So it's been a learning curve for sure. I mean, there's a lot more to social media than than one thinks. There's a lot of opportunity, but at the same time, you have to learn quite a bit about algorithms and thumbnails and stuff like that, and hooks and you know, that kind of things that I never had thought about before. So
Yes. What is a memorable moment that you have as a teacher that you could share with us?
probably just I will go to a moment of being a memorable moment was teaching a young kid from his family was from Venezuela and teaching him through Zoom. His name was Marwan, and he was just a light in the world. So it was a pleasure to be able to work with him and just seeing his intelligence and his willingness to learn. And I feel like he's going to make good ripples throughout the universe as he progresses through life.
I can assure you that along the way, you'll find a lot of memorable moments. You'll make a lot of friends because a lot of my students are my friends today. Do you think teaching helps you become a better person every day?
Well, one thing with my English teaching, I guess, journey and just teaching in general that I've learned is that if you're a teacher, it keeps you on your toes because you also have to be learning yourself. So in some way, yeah, I mean, I'm a teacher, but in a lot of ways, I'm the student as well. Like when I'm doing live streams, when I'm giving lessons, sometimes people will ask me questions that I don't know the answer to, and I'll look it up and I'll realize like, man, I speak this language, but I don't know why we say certain things. So I think that, I mean, yeah, teaching has definitely helped me and my students and students or followers or however you'd like to call them have helped me a ton.
Yes. I want to ask you something that's really important for me on the channel, and I think it's going to be very easy for you to answer this. What is your opinion about non-native teachers like me and like you? You are a non-native teacher of Spanish. I'm a non-native teacher of English.
Non-native teachers.
Yeah.
I personally think that in a lot of cases, a non-native teacher is probably better at teaching a language than a native teacher who didn't study the language. And I think that most people who have learned a language the way that we have would concur because as I said, like take myself, for example, with English, there are a lot of things that I do, that I say, the way I speak, but I have no idea why I do. On the other hand, learn a language, you learn why you do this type of thing. So that itself brings a ton of value that sometimes a native speaker couldn't bring because yes, they speak the language, they speak it great, but they have no idea why. I at least see that in my case.
Yes. What is the advice you could give my audience to keep studying languages or to keep studying English?
It's first of all, it's worth it. Learning a language. I was just talking with my wife about this yesterday. Well, learning a language opens so many doors, not only just to connect with other people, but doors as far as the job market goes and as far as personal progress. I will also say but at the same time, it is a job. It's a lot of work, but you have to kind of embrace the struggles of learning a language. So for example, if you can't pronounce a word properly, really embrace the struggle with that and practice and practice in speaking out loud.
Yes. What would you tell yourself if you could go back in time 5 years ago?
That's a great question. I'd probably tell myself not to worry so much and to enjoy the ride.
Yes, awesome. Now we're going to go to the rapid round game.
Let's do it. Sounds great.
Okay, so Texas is?
Hot.
Languages are?
Fun.
Friends are?
Necessary.
Jake on Jake?
Friendly, honest, and competent.
Spanish is?
Exotic.
My wife is?
Lovely and supportive.
Costa Rica is?
Beautiful and marvelous.
Brazil is.
Exotic and cool.
The most beautiful word in Spanish for me is.
Melocotón. It's a peach, the fruit.
Okay. The most beautiful word in English for me is.
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a very tough one. I don't know what to answer to that question. Maybe soulful.
Soulful. That's a good one. I like that. Now,
Awesome.
enjoy.
I'm excited. The best food in Brazil is
Rice and beans.
for
me.
Englishers.
My life.
The best part about being a teacher is
seeing somebody learning and cracking a new code is priceless.
I agree. The most difficult part of being a teacher is
when you can't teach what you want to teach.
Your favorite song?
Imagine.
By John Lennon?
Yes.
Favorite book?
My favorite book is When Bad Things Happen to Good People.
If you had to learn a language that wasn't English or Portuguese, which one would it be?
French.
If you had to live somewhere that was not Brazil, where would it be?
New York.
Awesome. New York. Yeah, you love New York, right?
I do.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I do. Well, for every guest, I have a sentence, a quote, a takeaway. And for you is never stop dreaming.
Thank you for that.
Because when we dream, we can go further. If we stop dreaming, we start dying inside. And you are too young. You're very talented, thoughtful, and you're very open. The world needs people like you. YouTube has given me or has put me the right people on my way. You certainly are one of them.
Well, I thank you, Rod, for inviting me, and I'm certainly thankful to have met you as well. And I certainly hope that we can work together in the future, because I think that you're also a good person. And just like I said about Marwan, a bright light in the world. So I do thank you for having me, and it's been a pleasure. And
thank you so much. When we are disabled, as we say in English, the eyes are the windows to the soul. And that's exactly it. I'm going to need help up to my last breath. And when I decided to be a teacher, it was first of all because I loved English, and secondly because I could pay back. I could help people the way I am helped. But most importantly, through my journey, I like to have a lot of friends. I learned how to be a friend to my friends. I learn from my students. I learn from you. Life is learning. We have to give our best to people so we can receive it back.
Certainly.
That's why I like to do these interviews and tell people stories like yours. I am really happy that I could have this interview with you. So kudos to you.
Thank you again for having me, Mr. Rod.
Thank you for accepting doing this interview. Thank you for your time. And I hope you liked it as much as I did.
It was a pleasure.
And it was my friend Jake from
Idiomas
con Jake, because I have to think in Portuguese and Spanish at the same time.
How do you say idiomas in Portuguese?
Idiomas.
Idiomas.
It was awesome. All his contact info is going to be in the description box below. Thank you so much for being here once again. Thank you. See you. Bye-bye.
We'll see you.
Hello, it's Rod's friend here, Gino from Real Everyday English. Sorry for interrupting your video. I just want to make a quick recommendation that you subscribe to Rodrigo's channel. He's an amazing guy, he's so humble, he's so dedicated, and he creates absolutely fantastic content. See you people soon. Bye bye, God bless.